Good morning everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today I've gone miles and miles and miles for you. Actually probably just about a mile. I'm still in Cwmbran and I'm in Upper Cwmbran and I'm going to take you to see Blaen Bran in Upper Cwmbran. Whilst I remember now, I'll put a map on of Blaen Bran for you. And this is the junction that goes up towards Blaen Bran. It's Upper Cwmbran Road by here. It goes up past the Queen's Pub, which I'll show you in a second, and onwards up to the mountain and Blaen Bran. Looks like it's delivery day at the Queen's Pub, but there is the Queen's, and this, you might just be able to see the start of the incline that I got to go up. So that there is Upper Cwmbran Road. It carries on over there. But here, as you come up the road, you'll see the car park. The car park's obviously just in by there. These two cars, obviously it was full when they came. And there is the sign for Blaen Bran Woodland there. As you can see, it's a community woodland, so it's access to everybody. And there is space for a few cars. And the gate is up there in the corner. Now obviously, although it is access to everybody, there are rules which you have to follow, which when I find the sign I'll show you. Now the sign is a bit dirty, but you get the gist of it. It's a fair sized place. As you can see, it is a fairly steep access road. Well, it's not a road, it's a path at this point. So we're about halfway up this bit of the trail, and this is where it turns into a road really, but it's only access to residents of a couple of cottages just across there. And the access road comes this way. But we carry on up to the mine workings, which is just up there. So we're finally at Mineslope Quarry, or Colliery, what used to be anyway. I'll take the drone up by here now and show you these bit of ruins. Now of course I have filmed all this before, but I've never done it properly with drone and GoPro, which is why I'm doing it now for you. You know, the drone is brilliant, but there's nothing quite like seeing the footage on the floor too. You can see from that picture by there on the sign that the mine slope would have been by here somewhere. I'm guessing there, because that looks like it would have been there. It also doesn't say it on this sign, but I have read it online, and of course I will put the links in the description down below. But there were some fans just in the background by there that used to air out the mines. Okay, so from the old colliery ruins, it's followed the old road around, which I think is the road that used to go up to Blaen Bran Reservoir, which is the next bit I'm going to show you. I know a lot of the people that watch this video are going to be from Cwmbran, but I'll tell you for my viewers that aren't local. So this is the road we came up. That is a place to go over into Blaen Bran. There is the mine colliery ruins. And this is the way we go up to Blaen Bran Reservoir. Now in winter this can be quite a boggy route. But we're currently on, let me just check, the 30th of August. So this is the best chance we got of it being nice and dry. You certainly wouldn't believe it if there weren't telltale signs around that this used to be the access road to the reservoir. This is one of the things left by which tell you this used to be the road. An access gate, which is now just in the middle of some woodland. Now it just looks like a trail. You may be able to see all the way down there through those trees the trail I've just come up. And then right by here you can see was the gated entrance. There's one pillar and there's the other pillar. So down there is to the reservoir, and up there continues onto the top of the mountain. Again, I'll put a link in the description about this reservoir. It's now privately owned, but it used to be owned by Welsh Water, which is a water company here in South Wales in the UK. So I'm now right beside the reservoir. Unfortunately for the people who live quite close and use this place very often, it's very popular for teenagers and young adults to come up here, camp, light fires, leave behind their rubbish, which is very unfortunate for the dog walkers. As I say, this reservoir is now privately owned. There has been one person, I believe, who's actually died in this water for jumping in when they obviously shouldn't be in a disused reservoir. And the landscape up here is due to change drastically in the next year or two, because the top of that mountain up there is going to have some wind turbines put up onto it, some of which are very high and will be seen from most of Cwmbran. Now, as you can see from the drone, it's quite a beautiful place, so it's no wonder why the kids want to come up here and camp. And right next to this reservoir is the woodland, which I'm about to take you and show you. So we've got to go down this bit of a ramp, across the reservoir wall, up the other side of the wall, and then up to where the water comes down into the reservoir and across into the woods. So that used to be the water tower, and it used to have a bridge coming across onto this side, but it had to be demolished because, again, the children were walking across it and jumping off into that water. You can just see the metal remains of it by there. That's all that's left. So the new owner, I say new, relatively new owner of this reservoir, his name is Terry, and he takes pretty good care of it, as good as he can. And believe it or not, he does put fish in the water too, but we may not see any today. It depends if people have caught them or not. I mean, really they should be catching and returning, but some don't. So I'm in the corner of the reservoir now, and this is what I mean about teenagers coming, camping, lighting fires and leaving all their stuff. Also on this side of the reservoir is where the bypass for all the water would have been for when the reservoir is full. There's not a lot in there at the minute, actually, time of year, but this reservoir isn't actually supposed to have any water inside it. A couple of years ago it was deemed unsafe to be full, so the water authority forced the owner at the time, which wasn't Terry, to make adjustments to make sure it didn't fill with water. But unfortunately it seems it still does. And in the winter, when we've had a fair bit of rain, this reservoir is actually very nearly full. I have made 2 drone videos on Blaen Bran before for you, but as I said before, they were drone only videos, and you would have seen on those videos that this area behind me was full of trees before, and one of those videos I made was of them actually felling trees up the woodland because of diseased trees. I would have already put that video in a card for you in the top corner. It's very relaxing up here. This is obviously one of the areas that let water into the reservoir, as you can see by there, and runs down into the water. How does that saying go? It do the thick of it. It do the thick of it. Don't quote me on it, but I believe this is where the main bypass for the reservoir would have been. I'll see if I can find an old image on Google Earth and stick it in by here for you. But I'm sure over in these trees there was a smaller reservoir, but I've never seen it and I've never looked for it. It's very overgrown. Very beautiful up here at the minute. It's very overgrown for my pictures. You can just see in the middle of those trees there, the main reservoir is just down by there. And I'm going to go from here, up that little trail by there, up into Blaen Bran. I did say earlier I'd show you a sign of what is and what isn't allowed. But the reason we haven't seen a sign yet is because I haven't actually entered Blaen Bran. This isn't an official entrance, so I'm not going to see a sign by here, but hopefully I'll be able to get one later on the way out, because I'll go out a different way. So we're now in Blaen Bran. Absolute silence. A bit of wind rustling through the trees, my phone getting a message. And the birds in the distance. So as I said, it is the 30th of August. I did just do a little live. Nobody joined, but I don't know if you've watched that since. So let's carry on with my little plan, which is up this trail to go to the pond and have a little look at that. Beautifully quiet up here. The odd sheep in the distance now and again. Some birds. We made it up to this trail. Plenty of bracken this time of year. And the pond is just down here. This is another favourite little spot for the kids to come and camp. Oops, sorry if I went on the wonk then. Just trying to walk down the hill at the same time as film. And something's got to give. Look at that. It's not a very big pond. It's probably about triple of the water you can actually see. Obviously all the reeds mean you can't see what's back there. It's beautiful. previous campfire. Dragonflies flying around. Plenty of wildlife up here. I just realised I called them reeds, and I've no idea what they're actually called. But I think we'll settle for, what, corn dogs? Hot dogs? So let me know in the comments. Shame there's no fish in this little pond actually. Well, it's not deep or big enough for fish, but it'd be a lovely little place to do it. Plenty of other small wildlife here, but not fish. Please tell me you can see that little dragonfly. I say little. He's fairly big. Back up this bit of a hill and I'll go to the left because I'm almost at the top of Blaen Bran, so I might as well go up by there and see if I can take the drone off and show you this bit, because it's quite open up by here, or at least it should be. Let's have a little seat and a drink, shall we? As I just said, I'm nearly at the top of Blaen Bran, but there's still plenty more mountain up above Blaen Bran. Unfortunately, some of this mountain that may come to be very different in the future with the windmills. Always take water with you on a nice walk, and in my case some sugar because I'm diabetic. I don't think I've told you yet, this woodland is completely ran and maintained by volunteers. That's brilliant, isn't it? Right, enough of a sit down, let's get on with it. Here's the top entrance to Blaen Bran, just up by there. I'll go across this side entrance by here, see if I can find a good spot to launch. Just around by here somewhere there's supposed to be some ruins. I have had a look for them in the past, but never found them. So maybe if the volunteers watch this, maybe they could put some signposts or something to the ruins. Or maybe there's just nothing really to look at, I don't know. You tell me. It's a shame that mountain top is going to be somewhat ruined. But I suppose it's progress we need to make, right? So I won't walk any more across that way because you just saw from the drone. There's not a lot until you get right over into the forest. So I'm going to go back this way, the way I came, and down to the bit where I want to see where it looks like where they felled a lot of those trees. So let's go take a look at that. I had to be careful flying that drone too, because you can't see them, but just up on the mountaintop by here, there's 3 birds of prey flying around. I can currently only see one. You'll have no chance of seeing it. But he sounded pretty close when I was flying my drone. So I landed that pretty sharpish. Over by there's where I originally came in and took a seat. So I've come to this bit of a fork. On the right goes down to the place where they keep all their equipment. and the left I think goes all the way across to the Mountain Air car park, which is one of the places I want to show you, so I'll have to go this way and then double back on myself. Again, talking about the young kids camping, here's a couple walking across the reservoir wall, which is just down there, carrying bags of stuff that they'll no doubt leave behind. You see some remnants of a felled tree by there. It's actually a very good job of covering up all the tree stumps. I wonder if the brackens helped them out to do that. There is still quite a wide range of trees around. I won't try and name them because I don't know them. For instance, I can tell you there's a Christmas tree. I don't know the actual name of it. I know they have planted a lot of trees and they have plans to plant more trees. I am not aware of how long that's going to take to come to fruition and bring it back into a woodland. But as I say, it's a wonderful quiet place to come, sit. You wouldn't think it's so close to mainland Cwmbran, you know, but it is lovely here. Just flying a drone around you doesn't do it justice. You've got to see footage from the ground to see the real picture, which is why I'm glad I've now got this GoPro as well as my drone. So I've just showed you that mast up on the top of the hill by there, just there. That's in a previous video also. And I've also showed you, if you carry on this path just up and down around the corner, is the Mountain Air car park. Now that's the car park you'd like to park at if you're a bit less able to walk around here. And the entrance to Blaen Bran is right by there. But now that I'm by this entrance, I can show you a little sign that tells you the rules of Blaen Bran, and then I'll walk back down that long path, show you some interesting trees along the way, and then take you back down around to the bottom. One of the felled trees, or maybe one that's just fallen. Now, I saw this section on the drone, so I thought I'd come and take a little looky. And you can see the extent to how many trees were felled now. You saw how big that area was on the drone. There are a lot of trails going through the woodland. Mostly dog walkers go on those. I'll stick to the main trails to show you today. There's the gate I came through just down by there, and as you can see, just as you come through, it's a nice little bench for you to sit on with a nice little view of Cwmbran. In winter, you do need to wear wellies because these paths can get pretty boggy. There is another trail going down that way. I've never actually been down that way, so I can't tell you what is down there. It's right by here. A beautiful little area for a walk. The dogs love it through here. Even at the end of August, you've got to be careful where you're stepping. Plenty of young trees through there. Again, I couldn't tell you what they are, but they look lovely. This is the main track really that runs through Blaen Bran. From this angle by here you can really see why back in the day they put a reservoir right by there in between the mountains. Perfect place. We're now back at that fork that we initially saw, except this time we go down. 9,079 steps so far. I'm sure this area by here used to be full of trees. Could be wrong. I'm sure it was. Just passing the reservoir down by there again. We probably won't be seeing that again now. That was a big tree, wasn't it? How many cuts that took? Whilst that tree looks pretty cool, it also looks pretty precarious. Surely it's not time for autumn colours already. It might not look like it, but we are on our way back down the mountain, headed towards the area where they have events. I'll show you that a little bit. Got to get there first though, but I'm not in no rush. Looks beautiful. Sorry if I am a bit bouncy. That's the path I'm trying to walk down, whilst trying to watch the camera and film at the same time. Another little way down there that I've never actually been on. It's more of a very woodland walk by the looks. I'll stick to the main path because I know where it goes. Got a lovely little memorial planting spot by here by the looks of it, with trees planted in memory and dedication of people. What a lovely idea. So we just come down a bit on the left. I'm guessing that bit on the right is where that shortcut comes down to, looking at the map. Proper spooky woodland walk in this bit. But again, I'll stick to the main path because I know where it ends up. So this bit's called Parsons Wood, which leads into the dark wooded area we saw a second ago. Nice little bit of a seating area. Some sculptures. I'll just show you a little bit of these woods. It's exactly like the woods you would have played in as a kid. It's exactly what it reminds you of. With all the pine needles on the floor. Just look at that. I don't know how well this will come out in editing with the GoPro. They're not very good for low light. Isn't it phenomenal? On your doorstep. Just make my way back out to that little event area now, which I've remembered what they call it. The log circle. It was in there somewhere, right? And this is the only place in Blaen Bran, I believe, that you're allowed a log fire, but it has to be supervised by one of the volunteers, I think. And for good reason too. Wouldn't want a wildfire up here. And here's why they call it the log circle. They do have events here. Even a bit of a notice board. And it says by here, I just noticed, it tells you about the wind farm that's being proposed. Which will completely change the view on the mountain. So we just passed the log circle. This is where some of the biggest trees are. Just hear the chickens from down the cottages. You really could be anywhere on earth up by here. Beautiful. And this little track on the left, I believe that goes to, yes it does, it goes to where they keep all of their tools and certain pieces of machinery to manage the woodland. We're not allowed down there. So let's continue. I'm sure I've mentioned it before today, but it really is a great place to come for a little mental health reset. And it literally is on everybody's front door. Why aren't more people coming here? I don't know. Looking at this area, I believe this is the spot where they stored all the logs after they'd cut the trees down. But time has passed since I last flew my drone up here, so I could be wrong. Up through the last section, down, walk over the little stream that's coming from the reservoir, and that's us done. So let's go show you the stream. And this is where that overflow ends up from the reservoir. And off it goes down the mountain. And just up around that corner is the exit. And there we are, back at the Mineslope Colliery ruins. You don't need to see me walking home, do you? I don't think so. Let me know what you thought of this one down below. And please like, comment and subscribe. And why not visit this place if you're near. Thank you for watching, and bye bye for now.